All right, what is up, guys? This is Young Music Podcast. I'm Will.
I'm Sam. What's up?
And I'm Dylan.
Today, on this episode, we're going to be talking about 2019 and 2020 music and just like our basic thoughts about some of the projects that came out this year. So, Sam, if you want to start with us, your top 3 projects of.
Okay, my top 3 projects. First one, my favorite of the year, is The Weeknd's album After Hours. Then I'm probably gonna have to go with let's see. I like Eternal to Take, but I don't know if I can necessarily put that in my top albums. It's like, I don't know, like the best songs I'll listen to all the time, but there's a lot of them that I don't really like on there. I really liked Denzel Curry's album Unlocked. But I'd have to probably, if I had to have a top 3, it would be The Weeknd's album, Tame Impala's album, and some indie album that nobody's gonna know about.
All right. We can talk about that indie album more later. Dylan, if you would like to go over your top 3 of 2020.
Well, of course, I know Sam, but I'm going to have to say Eternal to Take, definitely. I mean, I can see where you're coming from with like, oh, some of the songs are really the best, but some albums are just kind of cursed with that, especially if they have more songs. But the wait was worth it, in my opinion. Some of the songs are definitely worth it, rather than listening to, just some 20-second snippets recorded in like Lil Uzi's car from outside.
Yeah.
I actually really liked the Denzel album Unlocked. Really liked that one. That was some fire. Not gonna lie. It's very Denzel. Very. I like the producer.
Denzel album, very Denzel.
It is very Denzel album.
What was that guy's name?
Kenny.
Kenny Beats, my boy.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him definitely helping out Denzel produce that album. I really fucked with the production on it. And honestly, The Weeknd, although I really don't like R&B all that much, The Weeknd's album was pretty good.
Yes.
I did like it, but don't fuck with R&B all that much, but I gotta admit it was pretty fire.
All right.
Very, very good.
For my top 3 albums of this year, I'm gonna have to go with The Weeknd. I think that's pretty much on everybody's list, like ever.
Nah, bro. Nah.
I'm gonna have to go with The Weeknd. I'm gonna have to go with Eternal to Take. My man Uzi, bro. He came through once again. And then
he did.
I'm gonna go with Mac Miller, Circles Deluxe. I really enjoyed that album. I think out of all the posthumous albums that have come out, especially in the past few years, his is the best that has come out. But I mean, there's a couple other ones I'd like to put on my list. Unlocked with Denzel Curry was really good. I really liked New Toronto 3 by Tory Lanez. I thought that was. I'm not that big of a Tory Lanez fan, but I thought that was a good album. Yeah.
I did not listen to Mac Miller's album. I've never really been a fan of Mac Miller. I don't really think there's anything super special about him, in my opinion. He just kind of has like a flat flow, and like, I don't know, he's just not really super awesome to me. But I heard from a lot of people that his posthumous album was good. Did it take him dying for him to be good, or like what happened?
Yo.
I'm just playing, bro.
I mean,
better than X's posthumous album.
That's a fact.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I did give that a listen. Was not the best.
That's like a 0. X's posthumous albums are like he dropped an album of ringtones.
all the X fans gonna be pulling up now.
They are.
Yeah, all the 0 people.
All 1 people watching this right now.
Yeah.
Us and our parents.
Bro, we forgot about Key Glock, bro. We forgot about Key Glock, though.
Dylan stands Key Glock.
No, I don't.
Yes, he does.
I thought some of the songs were fire. I mean, I wouldn't say fire. They were just a little bit of heat.
We almost kicked Dylan off the podcast for having this opinion.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
So let's talk about the individual albums. Like,
okay. I guess
what we do and don't like about them. We can start with Unlocked.
Okay.
There was nothing I really didn't like about Unlocked. Like, it doesn't really have, like, it's super short. It doesn't really have, like, a ton of replayability. But it's, like, short and sweet. Like, the first listen was great. I don't really need anything more than that. So I gave it an 8, personally. But, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's great. It's just, like, I'm probably not going to be banging it every day. Like, you know, it's just too short. But that's kind of the point, I guess.
I'm gonna have to agree with Sam on this one because like it was a really good album and I really enjoyed listening to it the first time through and pretty much the whole day when it came out. That's what I was listening to, but I don't find myself coming back to the album as much as a lot of some other albums that have dropped this year. So personally, I give it a 7. I thought it was definitely above average. Thought it was Kenny Beats is one of my favorite producers.
It was just weird to have that come after like Taboo,
Yeah.
and like, but
even after Zoo, because like even though like Zoo wasn't on the same level as like Taboo was, it was still like a good album.
I think that Unlocked was better than Zoo, definitely, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to disagree on that one, but
Zoo had some bangers, but it also had some songs I didn't like very much.
But
anyways, we're not talking about Denzel's whole discography. We're talking about Unlocked.
Right. Dylan, what did you think about Unlocked?
Well, I did already state this. I thought on the first listen, I gave it a 9 for the first listen. It was pretty good. Every single song in there is, it's a banger, pretty much. Some of them they kind of get repetitive with the same chorus, and kind of the verses are similar, and the choruses are a little bit longer on some of the songs, but it's not as good as Taboo, in my opinion, but it's definitely probably like right below it for me.
Yeah, it nothing that short can be better than like a full. It's not like really a matter of like better or not. I feel like because like it's just so different. Like Taboo is this huge album, and like
yeah.
Unlocked is just like almost like a short little EP. Like
yeah, it definitely was shorter, but I think he did the EP really well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
All
right. So we can move on.
Yeah,
if y'all are ready.
We're gonna go to the weekend now.
We can go to the weekend. Yes. Yeah. So I stan this album. This is my favorite album of the year. Everybody knows I love this album. Every single song is almost perfect, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Snow Child. It's just a little bit boring for me, but it's not bad. I'll still listen to it. It's just probably my least favorite track. That's why it's a 9.5 and not a 10 for me. I gave it a 9.5. So, my top 3 tracks from it are probably In Your Eyes, After Hours, and let's see, what was the other? Faith. Those 3 are just, they're 10s, bro. Like, he really outdid himself with this album. I definitely think it's his best album. The whole 80s like kind of vibe to it. He sounds like freaking Michael Jackson, bro. Like better than Michael Jackson. People are gonna come at me for that. But I would never bump Michael Jackson, but I'd bump The Weeknd.
Bro, who out here not bumping Michael Jackson?
You're bumping Michael Jackson every day?
Not every day. I don't bump The Weeknd every day either, though.
I bump his new album every day.
All right, so for me, I like the album. It's probably my favorite of the year so far, but didn't like it quite as much as Sam did. I thought give it about an 8.5, 8 to an 8.5. Um, I agree with Sam. I really like the '80s vibe that the whole album brought. I really like the production on it, and I mean, The Weeknd, of course, did a really good job. There's not really a bad song on it, but there's just songs I'm probably not going to listen to again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, my favorite song's got to be "Alone Again." The intro track really just like it really hits, and I listen to that song a lot. And then "Hardest to Love," "Save Your Tears." I listened to both of those a lot. And then I think "Faith" is an all around favorite for all three of
Yes,
us.
Faith. Faith goes nuts, bro.
All right, Dylan, how about you?
Well, as I stated before, R&B just really isn't my thing. However, I did give this album an 8. It's really it's perfectly produced in my opinion. The production is really good on it. Do you have to give them that? Uh, every track, it's like the vibe, like Sam was saying with the 80s vibe. That's really cool. I really like that, especially since I used to listen to 80s music all the time. But my favorite tracks on it definitely have to be About to Hate Me, but I kind of like Snow Child on the first listen.
I also really like Snow Child.
I like After Hours is probably my favorite track on the
After
album.
Hours, yeah.
Probably my favorite track. Also like Faith and Save Your Tears are probably my favorite tracks all around on the album.
All right, I guess with that we can move on to "Eternal Take." Probably the one of the biggest, if not the biggest, album that's dropped this year. Very
Y'all didn't
anticipated.
put. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but y'all didn't put Tame Impala's album in here.
No,
y'all,
I didn't.
y'all ain't.
I've been sleeping on Tame Impala. I've not listened to it yet.
Bro, that's like one of the biggest albums this
I
year.
know, and I've not listened to it. It's been like
I,
2 months.
I'll talk
We
about it. Y'all
we
don't
can
have to talk
All
about it.
right.
Because
Alright.
I've listened to it.
Um, but first, let's talk about "Eternal Take." Um,
You
I've
can
been
go
waiting for this
first.
album a long time.
I'll go last because
Everyone
I'll go
is.
last. Y'all are gonna praise it, and I'm gonna come in and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna.
So, I've been waiting for this album for a very long time,
Yes, yeah, we know.
and while it was not a 10, I still really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to give it 7 to 8 out of 10.
You got to pick one number. You can't pick two.
7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
On this one, it had some misses like urgency.
That was
No
pretty
one's
good.
bumping that song. That song was just bad.
That is literally the best song on the album. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
And
No,
then
it's not.
and
It's
then
not.
there was a couple songs where like parts of it would be like offbeat, like "Silly Watch." The hook is offbeat and
There's a
stuff like.
lot of it that's offbeat. Sorry, I keep interrupting. Go ahead.
And then but there's also some really good songs like "Low Main," "Prices," "Bust Me," "Venetia," "Chrome Heart Tags" are all like songs I'm listening to pretty close to daily from that album. And then if we include the deluxe, like "Myron," I've been listening to that song since like 2018 because it's been a leak, and I've been bumping that on SoundCloud forever. So I was super excited when it got officially released. And then we got songs like "Bean" and "Come This Way," "Trap This Way," "I Can Show You" are all really good songs that I also listen to very often. So yeah, Dylan, how about you?
Well, are we? Let's just say we're taking into account of
Yes, the deluxe is part
the
of it.
deluxe too. All right.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of just straight Eternal Take without the deluxe, listening
Yo,
to
chill, bro, with your mic. You're like,
My bad.
that's super loud. Okay.
listening
Go ahead.
listening to Eternal Take, not the deluxe, for the first time. I mean, some of the songs. I mean, it felt like it was kind of missing something almost. Which I
Yeah.
mean, I suppose would be like the auto tune from previous albums, which they said that they're going to remix that, so that'll be pretty cool. But so far, with the deluxe, it definitely bumps it up for me. I gave it an 8.5 with the deluxe. I know Sam's like, no, it can't. It's got to be like a 5.
It cannot be as high as 8.5, bro. But
But definitely Kobe coming out, that was pretty fire. I really like Pop. I know it's offbeat in some of the parts, but like you just gotta bump it, man. Chrome Heart Tags is pretty fire, as well as probably one of my favorites. Got to be Prices. I hate to say that, but it's a bop. All right, Sam. Now give us the breakdown.
okay, bro. Nah, they just came in crazy. I'm about to come and
Sleeping.
just shit on it, bro. Okay, so me and Will are pretty much Lil Uzi stans. We've been listening to him like since he first started dropping music, pretty much.
Sam is not a Lil Uzi stan.
If I don't like the album, I'm not stan.
You're not.
Bro, I can have an opinion on it and still be a stan. I like worship the ground this man walks on, bro. Okay, so my first problem with the album is the mix is not very pleasing to me. It's the hi-hats are really quiet. The vocals sound off key, and a lot of the album are just not very pleasing at all. They're like off key, and it just sounds like he wasn't really trying that hard to give like a good vocal performance. And like the audio engineer just said like, "Oh, we're just gonna leave it the way it is. Like, don't fix it." And if we're talking about the deluxe too, like all of the leaks, Myron, Lotus, Bean, those songs need fixing, bro. Like Bean, the snippet was, y'all know this. I've been bumping the snippet for like a year and a half before this came out. I would like the worst quality like coming out of Uzi's car, and I was like, y'all wait till it drops, bro. They just took a lot of the sauce out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the mids are too quiet, the hi-hats are too quiet. The worst part is the vocals are off tune, and they need to throw that auto tune back on there to sound better. Like, believe it or not, these rappers are not like super good at keeping their voices in key. the song sounds so much better when you have that auto tune. Sounds depressed on Bean. Whereas on the snippet, it sounds like saucy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just I cannot give it. I'm being generous when I say a 5 because there are like 16 songs, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, give or take. There's like at least half the album is some mid to me. It just doesn't hit right. But the songs that do hit are good. Like my favorites are Chrome Heart Tags, Venetia, Bust Me, Prices. I really like Trap This Way and Come This Way, Myron, Bean. So that's 8 songs out of like what 32. So that I'm being generous when I give it a 5, but it's elevated to that level just because the good songs are really good, and I feel like once they fix the mix, it'll fix a lot of the problems with it, but it's still just like it could have been executed a lot better. I feel like it's just kind of like I can't give it any higher of a score than that. It's just like it's just pretty mid. There's too many songs. Like there's it's just like polluted with these songs that you just like you don't really ever want to put on. Like in my opinion, I just I can't give it any higher than a.
Yeah, I guess some of the songs could be like that. Those songs that you listen to on the first time, and then
Yeah, exactly.
Do it again.
I mean, personally, am I gonna put on some of these songs? No, but except Urgency, if someone put it on, I'm not gonna be like, no, turn it off.
I mean, I would.
I would say Urgency is the only song that's like actually trash. Like that's the one bad song. The problem is there's so many songs that are just mid enough to where I'm never gonna put them. and that like when like over half the album is that for me, I mean I just can't, like a 5 is generous, bro. Like
All right, let's just go over a couple more albums that came out this year that we didn't really get super deep into because either none of us listened to them or like only one or two of us listened to it. So we got Mac Miller's album Circles Deluxe. I think I'm the only one here that listened to that one.
Yes.
fact.
I really enjoyed it, and I think both of y'all should go listen to it because
will.
I will at
I
some
think
point.
you will enjoy it. Tory Lane's New Toronto 3. I mean, it's a rap album. I liked it, but am I really going to go back and bump more than like one or two of the songs? No. Lil Baby.
Bro, we got to talk about. Wait, I'm sorry, Lil Baby, not Dub Baby.
Yeah.
we got to talk about DaBaby.
We're getting to DaBaby. Lil Baby. I mean, Young Thug, but worse. Like he has
That's literally him.
He has one song that I go back and listen to, and that's because it's got Uzi on it, and I like Uzi's verse. So, Jay Electronica, a pretty hyped up album. That because like it took him like 10 years or something to like drop this album, and everyone was like waiting for it. It was good. I enjoyed it, but I've not gone and listened to any of the songs after the first listen, so I'm not a fan of that style of rap.
What? Wait, which album?
Jay Electronica. It's West Side Gun kind of rap.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either.
Like it's good, but like you're not really listening to it like all the time, or I'm not. Like some people I'm sure are. G Herbo dropped an album. I'm not a big fan of G Herbo. I listened to PTSD because it's got Juice WRLD on it, and I except for G Herbo's verse because I don't like him. I thought it was a good song. It's got Uzi.
Everything except for the artist that dropped the song.
Yes, everyone but him is good. And I mean, G Herbo's not bad on the song. I'm just not like, I don't know.
I liked his song For Real. His song For Real was pretty good.
It's just, I don't know. His voice isn't very, I don't like his voice that much. And then, of course, how can we forget the GOAT? NBA Youngboy.
Yes.
All right,
now we can talk.
Wait. I must say something about
NBA Youngboy up in here.
As you guys will find out soon enough, there's few rappers we put below NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy.
DaBaby might be below him at this point.
NBA Youngboy, if you hear this somehow, please come on our show and prove us wrong and that you are actually a good rapper. Because right now I'm giving you about 0 out of 10. All right, let's talk about some of the albums that dropped last night. So we got DaBaby, West Side Gun, and then we can talk about Lil Tecca's new song and Cardi's new song. But we can start with DaBaby.
Okay, bro.
The same.
Yeah, I could not even bear listening to that album. For most of the album, we all listened to it together. For most of the album, I was like praying for it to end. Like I called it last night. I knew exactly how the album, and it ended up sounding exactly as I thought it. But it wasn't even as good as like some of his other stuff. Like it's like people told him to change the flow, but like that's not what we meant, bro.
All right, I'm gonna change up the flow. Same flow.
We didn't mean for him to be auto-tuned singing, bro. That's not what we wanted. That one track where he's singing, bro, it's so cringe. It's like,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
So,
dude, stay in your lane, bro. I know we told you to switch the flow, but like, we didn't mean switch your entire style, dude. Like,
so
I can't understand how you could listen to that for a long time. Like,
that album was like 13 songs.
I'd give it like a 2. I think a 2 is pretty fair.
It's like 13 songs, and there was maybe 2 songs that I liked on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm never gonna put it on.
I don't know who is listening to DaBaby, but I'd like to meet them to see what's wrong with their brain.
A lot
Because
of people are, bro.
and that's the
I'm not-
problem. Like, but who's like, I can get if you're listening to like one or two songs, because like, it's fun to listen to like once. Like, okay, like he's got a
Yeah.
pretty upbeat flow. Like, but then you listen to another song, it's the same, and another song, and it's the same, and another song, and it's the same. Like it doesn't change. So
Yeah, and when it does change, it's usually worse than it was before.
yeah, there was that one song where he actually sounded good. I don't remember what the name of it was.
Yeah, there was one song
But
that was
he
decent.
would
I
be
can't
like-
remember what the name.
He'd be like, all right, I'm gonna change up the flow, and we were like, oh, this is good, and we were liking it. And he was like, I'm gonna slow it down, and then he went to garbage, and he just like went
Yeah,
back
that
to
was-
the exact same thing that he'd been doing for like the past like 5 years.
the,
like-
the worst part was the singing, bro.
And-
The auto tune singing.
I would say the baby come on the show, but we just talked a bunch of trash about him, and the baby would like kill us if he heard us
Yeah.
talking trash about him. So he cannot come on the show.
It's fine. He knows he's trash,
He
bro.
does.
Uh,
All right.
people still listen to it, so I guess he do be making bread.
I mean,
so.
yeah, he's making more money than we are.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
let's talk about.
Well, yeah,
the
I
West
didn't
Side
get an
Gun.
opinion on it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Dylan doesn't get it.
Well, yeah, the Baby's album definitely very, very, very repetitive. Same song every single time. I mean, like Will said, maybe like 2 or 3 of the songs I really liked. I mean, some of the songs I was about to get into, and then he would just do some dumb shit like you said.
I'ma
Okay,
slow it
slow
down.
yeah, I'm gonna slow it down. That song was actually really good for like the first minute.
Until he slowed it down.
And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna slow it down, and then just ruined the entire song.
the Megan the Stallion verse. Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
gosh.
terrible. It was a pretty bad album in my opinion. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe like one song while you're at like a party or something.
There was one decent song. I feel like.
I can tell you what it was.
Nah, don't worry about it. Who cares?
I ain't gonna
It's
listen.
the
to
baby.
it.
So I
We
would
can
like
talk
to
about
say
West Side Gun.
this is better than NBA YoungBoy, but I've never listened to an NBA YoungBoy album, so I don't really know if it's better than NBA YoungBoy.
I feel like I'm Gucci Man. It's 2006.
Yes.
Nah, let's
Alright,
talk
let's talk about
about
the
West Side Gun.
Yeah.
Good rap album, not something I'm ever gonna really like bump after the first listen. Like it's just kind of like old, like obviously West Side hip hop. It kind of sounds like almost like a Nas tape, like a Nas album. Like it's just like rapping over these like kind of old West Side beats. Like
Yeah.
it's not really super like saucy for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good rap. It's just not really my style. Like it would probably be like an 8 for like a rap album, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be bumping it. Just not my style.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because like I'm not a big like '90s style rap person, so like I can tell like his pen game is good and he's a really good rapper, but personally I'm not gonna go back and listen to him because
Yeah.
of the style of rap he makes. Same with Benny the Butcher, who's also signed. They're signed to the same label. They make the same kind of music. The Plugs I Met was a really good album, and I think it was better than West Side Gun's album. It came out last year. It was really good, but I don't think I've ever gone back and listened to it, just because of the style of rap it is.
Well, on my first take, I mean I did like the songs. I kind of did like the style. Like they were saying, it's just not something that you're gonna be like bumping on the daily. I kind of compare it to an album like the Clipping album, There Existed an Addiction to Blood. Like it's a good album, but yeah, watch me hate on this. Sam.
I don't really see the connection there, but
No. Let me explain. So like, it's a good album, definitely 100%. But it's just not something that you're gonna be listening to like on a daily basis, or maybe even a weekly basis. Maybe just like maybe a once a month thing. I mean, it's good in a moment. Kind of just depends.
I mean, I guess I can understand the clipping album, the thought on that, because like, bro, you can't handle listening to that album more than once, bro. That album is
Yeah.
like ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
it's definitely a
it's
great album.
yeah, the clipping. We're talking about the clipping album. There exists an
Yes.
addiction to blood, not West Side Gun. We're kind of going off topic, but like, bro, those songs could like almost make me have like a panic attack, bro. Like those songs are ridiculous.
They're very good.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess we can talk about Lil Tecca's new single. I actually don't
What
remember
about
the
the
name
party
of it.
songs? Who cares about Lil Tecca,
We're
bro?
gonna talk about both.
Lil Tecca.
What? What's his name?
I mean, decent. Not really
What?
anything that cool, but
Out of Love. Personally, Lil Tecca gets very boring. He's like emo rap the baby. Like he makes the same song over and over. Like he made Ransom and then made Ransom 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And like doesn't
Wow.
change it up. But I thought this song was actually better than a lot of songs he's been releasing recently, especially on his album that he released last year. That album was super boring because it was like the same song copy and pasted like 20 times.
yeah, it's like when you think of him, you can hear it, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can hear songs you haven't even heard before. You can hear it in your head. Like
But this song I thought was better, and I hope he goes more in this direction because at least like it was something a little different, even if it wasn't like a whole like flow change or like something not super creative. It was still different than what he was doing.
yeah, I don't know if he really has that much potential.
I
Like
mean, he's also young. Like
he's not gonna turn into anything crazy.
I mean, he's also young. Like I'm the youngest one.
He's like our age.
I'm the youngest one out of us three, and he's younger than I am.
What?
Yeah, his birthday's 3 weeks after mine.
How old is he?
Dang,
He's turned 17 in August.
Damn.
Yeah, when Ransom came out and everyone was like bumping that all summer, he was 16 when he made that song.
Dang, still trash though.
The Juice WRLD remix was actually really good. Juice WRLD's I didn't mind the song in general, but I love Juice WRLD, and like any song he's on is just gonna make the song better. So
He did.
he took one too many perks.
Bro, that sucks though. Like he didn't have to die,
He didn't.
but he did.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about Cardi.
At meh. I mean, a lot of people are like, it's pretty meh.
Yeah, they think they did something when they say that.
I mean,
I know that everyone's gonna be bumping it soon, bro. Like,
I like the production on the song. I'm personally not a big fan of Cardi's baby voice. Like, it's just a baby voice song. Cardi's baby voice, I have the same problem with it that I have with like the baby or Lil Tecca. Like all his baby voice songs sound the same.
it's a 10, bro.
Yes, it's a 10.
It's a 10.
It's like a 7.
I mean, low key, like it does what I want for a Cardi song. Fine, like I literally just want new Cardi songs, and it's fun. It's fun to listen to. So there, it's good. 10.
I mean, it's fun to listen
Like-
to. I'll give you that.
Man.
The beat is different.
I like
gets
the beat. Mario
produced
Kart
very
type
well.
beat.
Pierre, I'm sure it was Pierre,
It was
right?
not Pierre. I don't think.
Damn, really?
I thought
Really?
Pierre was like the only one that did Cardi's album.
I can look, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Pierre.
Well, Sam, you know how much of a Cardi stan I really am.
Yeah,
But like, the song was good, but if the whole album's gonna be like that, I don't know. Actually,
It was produced by Jetson.
dang.
I give that single definitely probably like an 8.5. Like,
Better than what I'm
Yes.
giving it.
like it was good, but it's not something like R.I.P. Yams or anything.
Yeah, it's like
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Like
That
the
song
worst
sucks,
leak
bro.
that has come out.
Bro, y'all sleeping on RIP.
No, we're not. We're
Everyone's
not
sleeping on
it,
RIP.
bro.
Bro,
We're not
RIP.
sleeping on it.
R-
We want to bury it in the ground and like
Pay for the pussy out painful.
RIP
no.
Yams comes on and I'm the one sleeping, bro. It puts me to sleep. Like,
Bro, y'all gonna be crying when it's like the title track for.
It's
not
not
even-
It's
going
not
to
gonna be
be.
the title
It's
track.
not going
it's
to be.
on title. If you want to
It
go listen
is.
to it, you can go on title. Listen to RIP Yams officially master quality.
I still haven't heard it
And
on
it's
title
still
yet.
garbage.
All right, let's move on to artists.
Let's just
that,
do the ones we suspect are
yeah.
dropping,
So
and then we can wrap it up. Talk about the.
we have a list of people. It's like 10 or so people that we believe are gonna drop albums this year. So, Kendrick Lamar, I gotta say, I think that's pretty much a given.
I have faith.
I think everyone thinks
Yeah.
this year he's gonna drop another album. It's supposedly, from what I've heard, this is an old thing that I heard about a year ago, but it's supposed to be like rock inspired. So that would be
It's
pretty
gonna
cool.
be heat, bro. I already know.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna be
be,
like a
yeah.
10.
J. Cole is also supposed to drop.
His album will probably be good.
It'll be good. I don't think J. Cole has made a bad album, but he's not like Kendrick level like some people put him.
Yeah, he's not like I wouldn't even say he's top 3, but like
You could argue he's top 3. I wouldn't say he is, but I can see how you would argue that.
he doesn't have any like 10.
No, I wouldn't say he
Like,
does.
But I mean, he's a good rap. Like he gets way too much hate. Like
Yeah, he does. He definitely overhated.
I know a lot of people hate him just the meme from like years ago where it was like just so cool to hate on J. Cole, but like he is a good rapper. Like
Yeah.
he has my favorite album. For Your Eyes Only is a really good album in my opinion, and
It is a good album.
Forest Hills Drive is good.
Forest Hills Drive is my favorite.
Born Sinner is pretty good too.
My personal, I'm hoping for this album the most out of everyone on this list this year. Frank Ocean. It's been 4 years since we've gotten a Frank Ocean album. He's released 3 singles now, 4 I think. In My Room, DHL, and then the 2 he just released. So he's released 4 singles in like 6 months, and it's been 4 years since he dropped an album.
Yeah, he needs to drop an album, bro.
I
A
think-
quarantine album. Like I'm trying to hear that.
I think this year's the year we get a Frank Ocean album, and I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, Frank Ocean doesn't miss, bro.
Isaiah Rashad, don't know if you guys know who that is.
I know who that is.
He's
He's all right.
big in the hip hop community, but he's not like mainstream.
Yeah, he's definitely not mainstream.
Yeah. But I listened to his last album that came out. I can't think of the name off the top of my head right now. I really liked it though, so I'm excited for him to drop. Kid Cudi just dropped a single last week, and it's been a while since Kid Cudi's dropped anything. So
I mean, Kids See
Yeah,
Ghosts.
that's gonna be.
Kids See Ghost, but like a solo project. But even since Kids See Ghost, it's been what, a year and a half.
Man, he has. I'm sorry, bro, but he has dropped some trash. Bro.
Speeding Bullet to Heaven was bad.
Speeding Bullet to Heaven was a 0. A 0, bro.
I saw
Like,
I saw someone on Twitter the other day say that was his best album.
your ears must not work, bro. They must not work properly. I mean, like, talk about a failed idea, bro. Like, that is like the. Oh, don't even get me started, bro. That album is so bad.
Playboy Cardi, of course, especially with all the
He's
hype
gonna drop
getting
heat.
right now.
We already know he's gonna drop
some
heat.
heat.
Travis Scott, maybe. It has been a couple years since he's dropped something, so I haven't heard.
Sorry, go ahead.
I haven't heard any news about him dropping, but it has been. It'll be 2 years in August since he dropped. That's about how long it takes. So either this year or next year, I think he's probably gonna drop something.
I'd say next year.
Especially with since he just dropped Highest in the Room. When was that? Like late 2019.
That was on.
That was on Jack Boys.
I think
That's
yeah,
not gonna.
well,
he's probably gonna wait till next year because I think he's focusing this year on his label because I know that they're planning on releasing more Jack Boys EP projects.
Really?
No one wants that.
I really hope not, bro. Jack Boys was probably the worst album I've ever heard associated with Travis Scott.
Huncho
Not gonna lie.
Jack Huncho was worse.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, Huncho Jack was worse than Jack Boys. Jack Boys at least had a few bops.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
The song with Young Thug was pretty good.
Mhm.
I wouldn't like it's Travis
Don
Scott.
Tolliver carried.
I wouldn't hate it if they dropped another Jack Boys EP, but of course I would rather have a solo Travis project because he don't
Yeah.
miss.
He does not miss. He don't miss, bro. He
So-
literally doesn't though.
Uzi could possibly drop again. He's been kind of like
Yeah,
trolling
he's been
Cardi on
kind of
Twitter.
saying that.
We
And
need
he's-
Love Is Rage 3,
He
bro.
said Monday on his Twitter yesterday or 2 days ago. He said Monday copying Cardi, so no one's really sure right now if it's going to be a collab project or if it's going to be separate projects, a single. But right now we know Cardi's dropping a single. The Spotify page is up for Pain 1993, scheduled to drop Monday.
Uzi's gonna drop something.
Yeah, it'll be something.
I can feel the energy from his tweets,
Yeah.
bro. Like he's got something.
I mean, since he did get a lot of hate from Eternal Take, like a lot of people criticizing it, like Sam. I guess he was just like, well, fuck these guys, you know. I'm gonna just drop another fucking album and just making like.
Yeah. I mean,
Bro, if he puts out like another album like Love Is Rage 2, where it's like perfectly mixed and it sounds great and it's not just a bunch of songs we've already heard basically. I'm gonna be so happy, bro. If there's song 2 and 20-minute 2, 40-minute, I'm gonna be so happy.
Rihanna is apparently supposed to drop this year. I don't listen to Rihanna, but that's what I've heard online.
Sam might, I don't know.
I don't listen to Rihanna.
Sam is a simp, so it would make sense for him to listen to Rihanna.
Hey, I haven't thrown shade at you, bro. You ain't need to throw shade at me.
Jay-Z, probably pretty questionable if he does. But
bro, Jay-Z's just never gonna quit, bro.
I know.
Dude,
It has
he's rolling
been
in stacks.
3 years.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He is a billionaire. It has been 3 years since he dropped something, so I'd say this year, at the earliest, he'll drop something.
What's his last album? 444.
Yeah.
Didn't he release albums with Beyonce?
Yeah, he did.
After that?
I didn't listen to it, but I heard it was okay. Yeah, I was sleeping.
444 was pretty good though.
It was. That was a good album.
I haven't listened to Jay-Z since Magna Carta.
You didn't listen to
honestly.
444?
No, I didn't. Should I?
Yes. What?
Yes.
You didn't listen to it?
444 was a pretty huge album.
Came out 3 years ago, and this man was like,
He has a very
I was sleeping on it.
he has such a he has such a flex kind of flow because he has so much money, bro. Like
Yeah.
he literally is rapping, telling you how to make money.
Yeah.
Like just flexing that he's the richest rapper of all time.
That's some
and
drip.
then
Yeah, I know.
finally on the list, we have Joey Badass. He's good. I really like 1999 mixtape. Came out in 2012. Well, probably one of the best mixtapes like ever. It was really good.
I haven't listened to enough Joey Badass to have an opinion on him.
He's really good.
I almost went and saw him live.
I almost
should
did too,
have.
actually.
I
wish
should
did.
have. What was the album with the American flag on it?
All American Badass.
Yeah, I almost went to that show for that tour. It was here in Dallas,
There was.
but then I was like, I don't really know. I should have gone. He's good.
He went on tour again last year, just like to go on tour. I guess he didn't have an album or anything with it. I don't think, but my friend invited me to go, and I just didn't go. I feel like I should have.
Yeah, I would go see him live. He seems super awesome.
Yeah. So, I guess that's pretty much all we have to talk about. But to wrap up,
Yeah, we can.
to wrap up this podcast, this is our first episode, so we need everyone's support. So
Yeah, the production quality is not here,
Yeah.
obviously.
after quarantine, we're gonna set something like an actual podcast. We'll have a place where we'll all be at to record. But for now, this is just gonna have to be how we do it.
Yeah.
So, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, like the video, follow our social medias. I'll have it linked in the description and towards the beginning of the video, into the video. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how I feel about it in editing. It will be on the screen at some point. along with all our personal social medias. And then
Yeah.
other than that, Twitter will be to keep you guys updated on like recording, posting, stuff like that. Instagram is just going to be for promotion.
Yeah, it's gonna get better.
It will get better.
It's at the lowest tier right now. Quarantine got us messed up. Like, look at my hair. Look at my hair.
So
I'm looking like nuts right now.
yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe, comment anything you would like us to talk about, and I'm sure we can talk about it because we really have no ideas right now.
Yeah, we need topics.
So please comment.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been a pleasure. I guess we'll sign off now.
Yes.